Hi, Mr. Van Shee. This is my math project. So, we're going to begin our journey into mathematics. So, what's the problem? We have Simba and Nala, they're two characters from The Lion King, and so they're walking together, they're best friends, and they got separated. So, they got separated, and they have two separate paths now. Nala is on the path of y equals root x, and Simba is on the path of y equals 1 over root x. And it's okay though, because these two will be reunited, and on their two separate paths, they're going to go on two different tangents. And the tangent point, the x value is going to be 1/4 at the point where the tangent line is intersecting the actual path. So we're going to have to solve this problem mathematically, and more formally stated, it's the tangents at x equals 1/4 to y equals root x and y equals 1 over root x meet at P. And our goal is to find the coordinates of P where Simba and Nala meet. So step 1, we're going to have to take the derivatives of both of the paths. And so Nala's function is y equals root x, and this can also be rewritten as y equals x to the 1/2. And to find the derivative, we're going to write that as y1. And what we're going to do, we're going to move this exponent into the front and multiply it to the x. So we're going to have 1/2 x to the negative 1/2, and this is because we're going to subtract 1 from the exponent. So similarly, we're going to find the derivative of Simba's path. So Simba's path is y equals 1 over root x, and this can be rewritten as y equals 1 over x to the 1/2. Disregard this, it's just a repeated statement of this. And so finally, we can write this equation as y equals x to the negative 1/2 because we're getting rid of the fraction and the 1 on the top. And so now we have to find the derivative of this function. And to do that, we're going to again move the negative 1/2 to the front and subtract 1 from the exponent. So we're going to have y1 equals negative 1/2 x to the negative 3/2. And so now we have the derivatives of both functions or paths. Next, we're going to have to find the slope of the tangent line. So what we're given is we found the derivatives of both of the paths, and we know that the tangent line intersects the actual path at x equals 1/4. And so to find the slope of the tangent line, what we have to do is plug in this x value into the derivative of the original path. And so for Nala, what we're going to do, we're going to take this y1 equals 1/2 x to the negative 1/2 and plug in 1/4 as x. And once we solve this, we get y1 equals 1. And that is going to be the slope of the tangent line. Similarly, we're going to do the same thing for Simba, except the derivative is y1 equals negative 1/2 x to the negative 3/2 as we solved before. We're going to plug in 1/4 as x, and our answer comes out to be -4, which equals the slope of Simba's tangent line. So now that we have both, now that we have the slopes of the tangent lines, what we're going to have to do is find the equation of both of the tangent lines. And to find the equation for any formula, or to find the equation for any path or an equation, you can use the point slope formula. And this is y1 minus y2 equals m times x1 minus x2. And so if you have one xy coordinate and one slope, you can find the equation for the line. So right now, we have the slopes for both of the tangent lines, and we have one of the x-coordinates, because remember, as stated before, this x-coordinate is where the tangent intersects the original path, so we know that that x-coordinate will be on the path. And so we need to find the original x-coordinate, and to do that, or the original y-coordinate, and to do that, we're going to have to plug in the original x-coordinate into the original function. So what we're going to do is plug in 1/4 into the original functions for Nala and some of the original paths. So Nala's original path was y equals root x. And so we're going to plug in 1/4 for x, and we get the y-coordinate to be 1/2. For Simba, we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to plug in 1/4 into the equation 1/root x as x, and we get the answer as y being equal to 2. So now we have the slope, the x-coordinate, and the y-coordinate. And now that we have that, we can use the point-slope formula to figure out what the tangent lines are for both Nala and Simba. So as you can see here, I wrote out all the given variables that we have solved for and that we know for sure. And then we're going to plug in the m, the x, and the y into each part of the point-slope formula. And to make this a little bit easier to look at, I just got rid of the 1 in front of the y. Basically, you just have to remember that this y has to coordinate with this x, and this y coordinates with this x. So you have like y1, x1, and then you have y2, x2. So I just used y over here. And so we're going to plug in the y value over here, and the x value over here, and the slope over here, and we end up with the equation y equals x plus 1/4. And this is the tangent line for Nala. So for Simba, we're going to be doing the same thing, except using these numbers. And once we plug all that in, we get the tangent line to be equal to y equals -4x plus 3. So now that we have both of the tangent lines, we know that Nala and Simba are going to meet at the point where the tangent lines intersect. And to find the intersection point of any equation, you're going to have to set both equations equal to each other. And so we're going to set y equals x plus 1/4 equal to y equals -4x plus 3. And so I wrote it out right here and solved it, as you can see. And we get the x value of the intersection point to be 11/20. Now that we have the x value, we have to find the y value of the intersection. And so to do that, we can just plug in 11/20 as x into either one of the paths, because the coordinate will be the same as these paths are intersecting. And let's just go with Nala, because it's just easier. You don't have to manipulate the x in any way. So we're going to plug in x as 11/20 into y equals x plus 1/4, and we get the answer 4/5. So now that we have both the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate, we can find the exact coordinates of the intersection of Simba and Nala, and that's going to be 11/20 as x and 4/5 as y. And so Simba and Nala are reunited, best friends, and that's about it. We found our p coordinate, and that's the answer. The end.